Hello everyone! Yeah, see if you get that reference. What's up everyone, we're back. Retro Q Gaming, Part 3, Chapter 2, as little sense as that makes, kind of. Valkyria Chronicles. Now, one thing I noticed is that when I was reviewing some of the footage from yesterday, as I mentioned, some of the cutscenes, the volume can't be adjusted on them. And you don't really get to hear it until you're watching it back, and yeah, it can be a little bit hard to hear during some of the actual story cutscenes. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move on to Chapter 2, Escape from Bruhl, Rescue.
Isara, Martha, please be okay.
Damn it, Welkin, run faster.
Martha!
What's her problem? She pregnant or just fat?
Who cares? Not gonna make any difference when she's dead.
See if anyone recognizes that voice.
Stop this now!
See what she's wearing? Take a good look at that shawl. She's a Darkson.
And that explains it. I thought this place stunk. Now I know it does. So, we got ourselves a fat one and a stinky one. PU. It's a regular pig farm in here.
That combat roll.
Thank you to watch your tongue in this house. You have to leave, now.
That's a big gun for such a little girl. Drop it.
Isara!
Huh? Hold it right there! Die! Darkson pig!
Isara, are you okay?
I'm okay thanks to you. But Martha, I think she's...
Martha!
This isn't good. She's gone into labor. Moving her would be dangerous.
Right. Well, we can't just leave her here. What are we gonna do? There are a lot of Imperials out there, Ys. It's only a matter of time before they take over the Mill Plaza.
Welks, listen. The barn out back.
What about it?
Our fathers have left us something. Something that might get us out of this mess.
Talk about pressure. So, let's see what we have here. Chapter 2, Escape from Bruhl, the Legacy of Our Fathers. Before we get into this little part, actually, I want to mention something that was brought up a moment ago in that previous one. Something about Darksons. I'm not going to exactly say what it is yet, but that becomes a giant overarching story. And it's something that was briefly mentioned during the prologue. I'm not going to say in what way. You can go back, check, you probably still won't even notice it, because it doesn't mention it specifically. But it's there, trust me. It's explained in great detail later. And that's a present that I would like to be left.
Dad's tank! Whoa! I can't believe it's still here!
And it's one of a kind. Here it is, the Edelweiss. Tamer built it especially for General Gunther.
Yeah, and it
Edelweiss.
worked great, too. So it's just been parked here in the barn?
I wanted to make sure it would still operate, you know, in case of emergencies. I enrolled in a maintenance class given by the military. I wanted to be able to do what my father could do.
Well, that's great. But that's only a class, Isara.
It really didn't need much, hardly any alterations at all. I just fitted it with a new turbine engine. It really improves on the power-to-weight ratio.
Just put in a new engine in a
The
tank
Edelweiss
after
is
one class,
field-worthy.
you know?
Its firepower and mobility are more than a match for recent models.
Well, assuming it does work. What's next?
All right, Welks, you took the armored vehicle course, didn't you?
Yeah. Back in high school. Once.
We'll bring Martha here. She'll be safe inside the tank, and we can move to a better location. Just leave the driving to me, okay? All you have to do is give the orders.
Tank Gunner Isara.
Isara, we ready to roll?
Farm boy teacher now suddenly commands a tank.
Engaging engine. The Edelweiss is ready for deployment.
Alicia could still be out there dodging bullets, buying time for people to evacuate. Here's the plan. We're gonna pick up Alicia and get out of town. All right, Edelweiss, move out!
Translation? He's gonna use a tank to pick up chicks in the middle of a war. So here we go. Retreat from Bruhl. This is a combat level.
Here's the brief for this operation.
So let's see, what have we got? The enemy squad is centered around a single tank, currently advancing from the plaza onto the main road. We need to defend the gate on that road. If the enemy breaches it, the evacuating townspeople will be in danger. They'll probably head for the gate and try to destroy it. The tank will be with them. Our goal here is to take out that tank while keeping the gate standing. Without the help of your tank, it's next to impossible for us to destroy their tank. Until we can rendezvous, the Bruhl Town Watch will do everything we can to keep the gate in one piece. Town Watch will need to hold off the enemy forces until you arrive at the tank. We'll need to use the sandbags around the starting point and gate for cover to hold back the Empire's attack.
All right, let's begin. We've got to stop them here.
Basically, we just have to hold out.
If this gate falls, there's going to be even more casualties among the townspeople. The Town Watch will defend this gate so as many people as possible can get away. Got a second? Listen close and I'll explain.
Come on, Alicia, let me get into the fight. About sandbags and hand grenades. By moving behind sandbags and selecting crouch, the unit's defenses are maximized and extra damage for headshots is negated. When focusing on defense or ending one's turn, it's always best to hide this way. Contrarily, this means that the enemy hiding behind cover are also well protected and more difficult to defeat as well. This is why a hand grenade is used. Its explosive power can destroy sandbags. Press the X button, the weapon toggle button, to cycle among your options to hand grenades. In this battle, Alicia possesses some. Grenades are limited in number, so use them wisely. Each player phase units will recover one hand grenade. So we've already seen that. I've done it in the previous level. But there is also one extra
My
cool
turn,
thing
okay?
in this one. There's two new things added in this one. Let me...
Enemy sighted!
Oh, that reminds me actually. First off, I'll show this. We can climb
Enemy
up
unit
here,
spotted!
get a much better view of the battlefield. That's pretty handy. We see the tank. Shock trooper, new type of enemy basically. Some scout. Okay. So we're not going to worry about that for the moment. That's one of the two new features. The other is this. You can crawl through and hide in grass. Slower, but it helps in cover. It's much easier to get by places as well and not be seen or shot. So now that I mention it as well,
Enemy
actually,
sighted!
with the whole
Enemy unit spotted!
oh, here we go, the whole movement thing and aiming sensitivity, I went into the launcher because you can configure stuff like graphics options and stuff like that rather than just go into the straight up menu. And for some reason my phone thought I said okay Google. Fair enough. Let's just cancel that. Yeah, I went in and...
Enemy unit spotted!
Ooh, a lot of enemies there. I went in to like change the buttons and all to see if the sensitivity was in there. Unfortunately,
My turn,
it wasn't.
okay?
It was there for mouse, but that was it. And to be honest, I don't mind the sensitivity on the mouse. There we go. Nice AoE damage. You took out... What is that? We took out 2 units, I think. With the grenade as well as bolt cover. Not sure how this one's going to play out. It's going to depend on how many... Okay, I have 2 points left. Right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just use a basic town watchman for one of these. Ooh, there's 2 enemies there. I thought there was just the one. Okay, he's down. We'll worry about him anyway. Let's just get him back on the opposite side. Crouch. So as you'd expect, that tower we saw a minute ago, great for sightlines, especially great for snipers. It's snipers another class which we'll get to later, but it makes sense. You climb up, good field of view, zoom all the way in, headshot.
Moving out!
So we're going back to Alicia.
Freeze hit!
Get a headshot in. Now, she won't make it back across, so I'm gonna leave her in there. Point her this way. Hopefully she gets a couple of shots in as those guys run by. Thought my microphone was off there. Had to look down at the indicator light. So let's see what the tank does. If you look on the bottom right there, the tank has body and tread HP. Body HP is basically just its full HP. If that gets depleted to 0, it's gone. Tank destroyed. If the tread HP gets down to 0, it's not destroyed, but its AP bar is severely crippled. It can basically not move. I didn't get a chance to put him into cover. And of course, the enemy is in cover, so... So hopefully... Yeah, see, nice one. See, look, he's almost dead. There he is. He's dead before he even finished his movement. Brilliant. And he was a commander. RIP CP. I'm probably going to lose a unit here. I might not. I thought he was going to just attack the town watchman. Like he is right now. And there goes the watchman. Watchman is... as cold as it sounds. Inconsequential. About Ragnade. Small amount of damage is healed at the start of each player phase. Sometimes a unit that has suffered heavy damage needs help to arrive faster. They need Ragnade. Sounds like an ad, doesn't it? Yet another product of Ragnite ore, Ragnade combines healing and antibiotic properties into a single medical package. Select it with the X button, then press the right bumper and select a target. Place the crosshairs on a nearby ally to heal them, or place them on no one to use this handy item to heal yourself. That was my terrible advert voice. So let's see, what do we want? First off, we want Alicia. Because she has grenades. Oh, she's getting destroyed.
Now!
Shock troopers do a lot of damage, and they've got a machine gun. Fires a lot of bullets. Each one isn't especially damaging, but they fire so many of them, and they fire them so fast. For example, if you fire as a shock trooper, you get something like 20 or 30 bullets per shot or per attack. The trade-off is the spread on them is pretty big, but the range on them is terrible. Come on, let's get this guy headshot. And that's a command point down. One handy thing to note as well is every action, every individual unit movement takes one command point. To do anything with a tank, it actually takes 2 command points. So that can come in handy, and it's also something that you need to factor in when you're planning your phases and you're planning your movements. See, they had 4 points, he just used 2 to get this tank. I really hope he doesn't kill this guy. shooting the door. The gate is crumbling a little
No!
bit.
If this keeps up...
Welkin has arrived.
Entering combat!
Time to rip up the Edelweiss.
The tank should be able to breach that wall. It may provide us with a shortcut, Welks.
All right, let's give it a shot. Hang in there, Alicia.
About tanks. Tanks possess firepower and endurance far beyond that of foot soldiers. They're able to deflect nearly all gunfire from enemy foot soldiers. This makes them a solid wall for your own ground units to hide behind. Unlike ground units, however, tanks do not recover a portion of their lost HP each turn. Tanks also consume 2 CP when selected in command mode. Relying too heavily on tanks in battle will quickly lead to a fatal shortage of CP. Additionally, tanks require AP to turn, so take care to plan ahead which direction you'd like to face at the turn's end. So all the key important stuff was basically covered there. Let's see, if I turn slightly to the left, you can see my AP bar is draining ever so slightly.
Oh, tank! It's a galleon tank!
Alicia, I'm sorry we're late.
Welkin! You have a tank?
Talk about a surprise.
We can talk later. Right now, we need to stop.
Enemy tanks sighted, Welks.
I forgot to press the stop
Switching
pressing
to
the A
anti-tank
button.
combat. Armor-piercing shells loaded.
All right, let's go take it down.
As the little tutorial mentioned as well, the tank makes a great... Oh, great. Let's see. Well, first off, the tank makes a great portable barrier, portable defense, so you can hide your units behind it and basically give them portable cover. Anyway, about attacking with a tank. Tanks have 3 major means of attack: anti-armor shells, explosive mortar rounds, and mounted machine guns. Whew, it's a bit warm in here. Anti-armor shells are effective against enemies covered in hard armor such as tanks. Explosive mortars will hit a broad area with a ragnite blast, ideal against ground units. Mortars travel along in an arc, aim for the center of multiple foes for major results, but be aware that ammunition is limited. The machine gun is best suited to striking enemies that are too close for the mortar and is used to intercept incoming enemies. Press the X button to switch weapons to meet the needs of each situation. Okay, so we can't actually see this tank. I'm going to try a bit of a epoxy one here. Probably won't do anything. No, hit the wall.
Entering combat.
Here we go. Let's get out. Get out to the road, do some damage. And that's what I'm talking about. So let's see what we have here. So, if I shoot at the standard body, it's gonna, standard style stuff. 3 hits to kill. If I shoot the treads, if you hit the treads, it mainly takes, obviously, tread HP. It also does a slight amount of damage to the body. But if I shoot the radiator, the crit point, it's gonna kill it in 2 hits. Let's see if I can land it.
Fire!
Nice one. That tank's HP. Okay, so this is the thing we covered earlier. Tanks have 2 separate HP totals: body HP and tread HP. Attacks to the tank's body and main cannon will reduce body HP, while blows to the treads will reduce tread HP. If body HP reaches 0, the tank is destroyed. If tread HP reaches 0, AP is drastically cut. It is easier to deal damage to treads than to the body, even with grenades. Halting a tank before taking it out at your leisure may be a strategy that's both safe and sensible. Not usually. There's 1 or 2 exceptions, but not usually. The glowing blue radiator plate at the tank's rear is its weak point, where even standard bullets can do reasonable damage. They can't do reasonable damage. You can shoot you can shoot like a scout's rifle into those. It'll do maybe like 2 damage per hit. It's not reasonable at all. It can actually do damage, but it's not reasonable. Try to get behind an enemy tank for a chance to take them down while being careful not to expose your own rear to hostile fire. That comes into play with turning your tank and repositioning your tank.
Here we
You
go.
always have to be wary because even turning it can use your AP. And of course, you know, you're going to want to get it to the point where you can keep your back away from the enemy or back to a wall or something.
Now!
And there's our tank down. Enemy tank down, at least. Operation complete. Doing pretty good.
Yes! We stopped it! Nice work, Ys.
Woohoo! Now you're my hero, Welkin.
The
Payback.
Imperials are running off for now. Looks like we bought some time, at least.
Welks! Welks! It's a boy! Martha had a boy!
Talk about being born on the battlefield.
She gave birth in Dad's tank?
His reaction is priceless. It's like, we're going to need to scrub this tank down, please. Scrub it down after she's gone.
Yes, and without complications. They're both perfectly healthy.
Good. That's fantastic. Now let's stay sharp as we head out of town.
Good stuff. 3 turns, A rank, got our XP, 2 enemy leader bonuses, and a light tank bonus. The enemy ace bonus I'll explain at a later point when we actually come across our first ace. So, final part of chapter 2 with home at our backs.
Two hours after the first shots were fired, Bruhl was under Imperial control. Though a mere skirmish by Empire standards, the raid on Bruhl would mark Welkin Gunther's first taste of battle and begin his rise to a Gallian hero.
No pressure. No pressure for Welkin Gunther, the farm boy, bug, fish and flower guy, who's also a teacher and a tank commander. No pressure.
Alicia.
I thought I would be ready for this. I knew war meant this might happen. It hurts. Seeing my town overrun like this, seeing all those people killed, it's just not right. How could all this happen? It isn't human, Welkin.
We look at those birds and see how wild and free they are. But they all have their own territories. If anything threatens their home, they'll risk their lives to defend it. People are animals too. We do what we have to, when we have to. Animals are in a constant struggle to stay alive, but I've also seen them help each other, almost like they were cooperating in order to survive.
Cooperating?
That's why I'm so into studying natural science. That coexistence. I want to know how it works. If we could figure that out, mankind could put it to use for our own survival.
They all technically do already.
That's why I want to be a teacher, so that I can pass that knowledge on to the children. I mean, even if we can't completely eliminate war, at least we might learn to live together as one people.
You think so?
It's entirely possible.
Welks, look. Martha fell asleep, so that makes me the babysitter. See, Alicia? Oh, he's adorable.
Just like you said, even in war, new life happens all around us. Come here. Look, that's your hometown.
That's a nice first sight. There's your hometown.
Someday,
Burning.
we'll come back home again.
Yes,
I know what he's trying to get across, though.
someday soon. I know it.
Inspiring words from
Chapter
farm boy
3,
teacher
Vassal
Welkin Gunther.
Urban Warfare.
So that's it. We're going to leave it there. That's chapter 2, finally completed. Moving on to chapter 3, Vassal Urban Warfare.